The last thing your hot chips see. Why foreigners are afraid of Australia versus why Aussies are afraid of Australia. What you leave out for Santa, America versus Australia. Choke me daddy, me, feeds her Weet-Bix with no milk. Save the animals in Australia, the animals in Australia. How to catch an Australian. Bugs in Pokemon, bugs in Australia. He calls it man versus wild, in Australia we call it camping. Just 1 teaspoon of Milo, right mom? Experts, Aussies who eat veg might have lower anxiety levels, me. Australians have accidentally been eating a fish unknown to science, thank goodness. Usually, it's the other way round. Fish unknown to science is eating Australians. Cow caught casually eating snake in outback Australia. I'm confused as to how the food chain works in Australia. Looks like frost, but it's spider season in Australia. Burn the whole country. Or damn, my bad. The Mediterranean Sea perfectly fits inside Australia. Australia do this. If this happened it would drown nearly 5 people. Punching sharks now declared Australia's national sport. How Australian can you get? This bloke was 6 foot tall. Fun Australian fact. This kangaroo is waiting for pursuers to come into the water with him, where he will try to drown them. They are extremely good at it. Australian addict dresses up as cop and raids another user's home. Australia is mental. This is an actual photo of a dog eating a shark, while 2 snakes fight to the death. This really reassures me about my upcoming Australia work trip. Australia is beautiful. See a hawk literally throw a snake at an innocent family. This really flew here all the way from Australia. The most dangerous flightless bird in Australia is sitting under a beach umbrella stealing gates. Are you going to tell what's basically a dinosaur that it can't have your grapes or beach spot? Because I'm not. Australian man involved in a shark attack beats shark to death with his own severed leg. How do Australians reproduce? We throw a boomerang, and whoever catches it is our designated mate. My friend left her window open in her bedroom and came back to find this. If there was a post to describe Australia, this is it. Not all Australian animals will kill you. Don't get me wrong. He wants to. He just can't. A possum broke into an Australian bakery and ate so many pastries it couldn't move. This is how they found him. Rare mutated golden Australia possum is named Pikachu. Australian McDonald's is shitting on American McDonald's, WTF. Meanwhile in Australia, we see the funny side to almost everything. Activists, we need to save the Australian wildlife. The Australian wildlife. Co-worker, what did you do Saturday night? Me, a rampaging Australian pig drank 18 beers and got in a fight with a cow. You know you're Australian when? Mum, why is my cousin's name Gold? Because your aunt likes gold, sweetie. Well, what about me? Enough questions, Marcus run. When she says she likes guys who are tough on the outside but soft on the inside. Oh sweet, a snow day, no school, said no Australian ever. How about no? Is this a Halloween decoration or a picture of a house in Australia? Why do so many people think spiders are evil and out to get you? Look at this nerd run away in an overly dramatic cartoonish way, just because something touched it. But spot the Australian. Alternative human evolution, that's just an Australian. Australian man caught sea monster with no eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. I feel like Australia is where the devil keeps his pets. Australia vs Pluto. I had no idea they had beef. The end of Australia. A rare image of an American and an Australian in a public restroom at the same time. Me, we should replace the British monarch on our coins with Australian symbols. Friend, what should we put on it? Me. It's 2 AM and I can't sleep, starter pack. I'm bored. Wanna do something. The only shots you'd never regret the next morning. You know you're Australian when the TV you watched as a kid still gives you nightmares. Magpie season. the pupil of your eye can expand as much as 55% while looking at something you love. When you're 12, but still wanna crack a cold one. I never know what's going to happen. When I go into Kmart, will I be there for 5 minutes, 5 hours? Will I spend $5 or 500? Who knows? Nonos is trying to figure out how to make Vegemite on toast like. In Australia we lock the doors because of them. POV, you're an Australian waking up. This is Australia. There are 1275 animals that could kill you in this picture. When Australians can't believe it, Norway. Downvoting a meme because it's not your opinion. Downvoting a meme because it's false. Downvoting a meme because you like it as an Australian. A quick guide to speaking Australian. Downvote, Australian upvote. Have you guys ever seen a wet koala? It's the scariest thing ever, like ever. American style anarchy and violence, a somewhat functional government, Australia. Meanwhile in Australia. Only in Australia you find magpies attacking a rider on an electricity box. Australians be like. Canadian kids wearing shorts when it's 10 degrees outside. Australian kids wearing jackets when it's 30 degrees out. American kids not understanding the meme because they don't know what Celsius degree is. Travel in Australia. When you wanna post a meme about Australia. Scott Morrison denies climate change, the whole country of Australia in one day. You know Australia is dangerous when the second lowest fire level is high. What people think Australia is like versus what it's actually like. Non-Australian. I got hit by a hailstone. Gosh it hurts. Australian. Oh yeah, the spikes are brutal. Non-Australian. The what now? Volcanoes, the only thing not trying to kill Australians. Australian slang. Actual words, random words that rhyme with the original phrase, mate. How it feels when you cut your mouth on a super duper packet. What people think Australia is like, what it's actually like. What kind of Australian are you? Has no taste buds, perfect human, probably a serial killer. This is why Australia and New Zealand are always fighting. The Americans told me to spend 3.5 billion US on tanks against the Chinese, so I did. Mate, we live on an island. Well, she. $240 versus $4. Only in Australia, appropriate footwear must be worn while on the premises. Minimum requirement thongs. Australians in Bali start a pack. Roses are red, fake teeth are called dentures. Man hitting a balloon on Hawaii's cooking adventures. When you walked into school with one of these bad boys and became popular for 3 minutes. How to piss of an Aussie. The uploader has not made this video available in your country.